My father me and convinced me to. My own younger brothers. I used to think it was normal, father-son time. Now, after years, I reported him, but my brothers told the police I was crazy.
My father essayed me and convinced me to essay my own younger brothers. I used to think it was normal, father, in time. Now after years I reported him, but my brothers told the police I was crazy. DW discussion around CSA and delete this post isn't going to be for the faint of heart. I'm going to speak about the essay. I endured as a boy. Please do not read on. If you don't want to know, I am not looking for help. I am an adult now who is safe, but I need to get this out, or I am going to do something horrible to myself instead. I grew up thinking my dad was my hero. As any son does, I loved him genuinely and unconditionally. I also grew up being essayed by him. I didn't understand that this wasn't normal. In fact, when I was young, it was something I actively enjoyed. My dad had a way of making it into a game I loved playing and enjoyed, but it was made very clear to me that it was a game, was to be kept completely private. My dad had a temper, and I knew already not to test him in any way. This game was only for me and my brothers, and no one else could know about it. That was crucial. And I understood that again. I didn't understand that it wasn't something just completely normal. I thought that all dads and boys did this, but it was something you just weren't allowed to talk about. Dad's game was fun, and me and my brother loved playing it. This sounds sick and effed up, but this was our fathers in time, and I liked it in a similar way. I imagine normal boys like playing football with their dads. I hit puberty when I was 11. I remember it so clearly, because I felt so grown up having hairs like daddy. I started to explode, as Dad called it. It was like I learned a new skill or leveled up. Dad encouraged me to start playing my own games with my brothers. I was told that I was mature now, and I was in charge of them. But I knew Dad was still in charge of us all. I did what Dad told me to, and please don't judge me for it. Jesus Christ, I already want a kilometers when I think about it. When I was about 13, I started to get a bad feeling whenever Dad wanted to play the game, since I started to enjoy it less and feel like there might actually be something bad about it. I spoke to my best friend at the time, and he told me it was weird and not to tell anyone about it. F me if I just told his parents, but I was scared that somehow my dad would find out I still didn't fully understand what I was doing or why it was wrong, but I knew now that I didn't like doing it. I was 14 when I first refused to play the game with my dad. He kicked the crap out of me, gave me 2 blocks eyes, and told me if I ever refused again, he would unalive me. He told me I wasn't in charge of my brothers anymore, and that I was a bad influence on them. My 2 brothers were 12 and 10. Then, and they were told I was a disgusting person for refusing to play, my dad stripped me and shut me in a locked room. It was dark and scary, and I was in there for I don't even know how long. No food, no water, no toilet, nothing. I was sorry. I begged to come out and told my dad. I would do whatever. I was told. I was sobbing, crying, begging. He let me out, and I had to talk to my brothers how they should never refuse to play the game. But I was broken by that point. I knew it was wrong. I didn't understand why it was wrong, but I knew it made me feel bad, so it couldn't be good. I knew I had to get out of there as soon as I could. I remember the last time I played a game, I was 16. My dad woke us up in the middle of the night, which was normal for us. My brothers and I shared one bed. I played the game, as I was told. By this point, it was like I switched off whenever I played, like I left my body. I don't know how to explain it. I would just do as I was told. And then when it was over, I would return to my body. I ran away the night after the last time I was 16. I had nowhere to go. I had been isolated from my friends, as my dad said there were bad influences, but I had to leave anywhere. It was better than where I was. I lived on the street for a long time. My old friend, the one who told me the game was weird and I shouldn't tell anyone about it, took me in. He thought my dad and I had a fight, and I got kicked out. I still haven't told him the truth, and I often wonder if he remembers my confession to him. I have my own apartment now, a job working at a fast food place, but whatever. And I am starting to rebuild my life. I decided that last year I would report my dad for what he did. I'm 25 now, and my effing brothers, who are 23 and 21, told the police I was crazy. They said I was on drugs and that I was bitter against my dad for kicking me out, and I just don't understand why has my dad poisoned their mind this much. Surely they know now what happened to us wasn't right. Why not join me? I got news today that the case against my dad has been dropped completely. Not enough evidence, not enough effing evidence. F this, I want to E. End it all. Right now, I want to OD and pass away. But I know if I do that, my dad wins. I don't want him to win. But I don't know if I can even keep playing anymore. Some more info provided by OP in the replies. We have no other family except dad. That's why it's been so hard for me to land on my feet. Sadly, this was the tip of the iceberg I went through, so much more. I have a good sense of everything that happened to me. A lot of people in my position block it out. But for me, it's like all those memories are so powerful, I can't not think about them. Update today marks 52 weeks of me going to therapy, and I feel so proud of myself. Therapy has been really difficult for me, more difficult than I ever thought it would be when I started. I don't know, I expected my therapist to just be able to fix me within a couple of sessions, but it's 52 sessions. And I feel like we're still in the early days, but I have noticed an improvement in myself. I am still an incredibly damaged and broken person. But maybe just a little better thanks to the help I've gotten. But not just that, I am proud of myself for sticking to it, even when it has gotten so incredibly difficult. And I am proud of myself for being brave enough to tell my therapist things that I genuinely thought would make him sick and be disgusted with me. He's never judged me. He's always listened and offered support and help without never making me feel bad. Even the times when I went against the advice he gave me, I feel really proud of myself. And I wanted to share that update too. I wanted to update you guys since my last post. A lot in my life has changed. I'm in a relationship with the girl I said I was going on a date with that. Friday, we've been together almost 14 weeks now, still early days, but I feel a strong connection to her. I hit 1 full year of therapy a little while back, which has been so positive for me. I really was at my lowest point since I was a child when I rose my first post, and everyone here talked me down from the edge. Without you guys, I wouldn't be writing this today. I wouldn't even be here today. I went against my therapist's advice and tried to contact my brothers. I turned up on their door and I said, when I came out against D, I thought they would label me as brave as a hero, but instead they used my trauma against me, called me a junkie, said I was bitter against Dad. I wanted to know why they lied to the police, why they said the things didn't happen when we all know they did. My 23-year-old brother couldn't even look at me, wouldn't look me in the eyes. He was so ashamed. My 21-year-old brother said if he ever saw me again, he would unalive me. He has rage, intense rage against me. He hates me, and I deserve it. I think I don't want to make this post come across like I am a little angel when I was put in charge of them. I did horrible things, cruel things. Yes, it was because Dad told me to. But does that make me blameless? I don't think, so I have to live with that guilt. But they have to live with the fact I did that to them. My girlfriend, I haven't told about any of this. I don't want to scare her away. My therapist told me I should be more open with her people when they find out what I went through. They start to look at you different, like you're not a person anymore, just a walking sack of trauma. They start to walk on eggshells. I had friends who knew turn-off movies before when they get to scenes about abuse, like for example, I was watching Dr. Sleep. There's a scene where a young boy is UN alive by the vampire people. My friend turned it off when we were watching it. I could feel her eyes on me like I was about to snap. All I could think is I want to watch this movie. It's hard having that side of myself completely locked away. I can never talk about my childhood, and she stopped asking. I think she gets a sense. It was bad. I'm still hopeful that one day my brothers will forgive me for what I did and will help me get justice for us, so I can't let go of my life until that day comes. I want to be here. I want to support them, be the person I never had when I ran away at 16. I hope I can do it.